Eisenhower's fall play production of The Butler Did It.
Shall I pour, sir?
No, thank you, Aldo.
Will there be anything else, Mr. Butler?
Yes. Tell Mrs. Butler to join me.
Very well, sir. Should I keep a plate warm for Miss Butler?
Yes. I've been worried about her. We've seen so little of Vicky since she came home for the holidays. But she's always been so unpredictable.
Very well, sir. I'll go get Mrs. Butler for you.
There you are, Angelo!
Raymond!
Coffee, darling.
Yes, thanks. I must talk to Aldo. Look at this coffee pot. It's a scandal. Tarnish and fingerprints all over it. Raymond, you haven't heard a word I said.
I'm sorry, darling. I guess I'm just worried about Vicky!
Vicky! All I ever hear is Vicky!
Oh, Vicky!
Daddy!
Mom. Your cheeks are as cold as ice. What you need is a nice warm glass of milk.
Angela.
You rang, sir? Oh, good evening, Miss Butler.
Evening, Aldo. I had to. He was standing under the mistletoe.
That will be all, Aldo! Could that be at this hour? Are you expecting anyone?
Not that I know of. Vicky, what was the meaning of that little display?
It was an impulse. Don't you ever have impulses?
You tramp! If I remember right!
This just arrived by messenger. It's for you, madam.
Thank you, Aldo. My favorite book, The Way of All Flesh. Curious, a Christmas presentmental card. Wait, there's an inscription on the flyleaf. To dearest Angela, turn to page 107. There's a passage underlined. We live in the shadow of death, which like a sword with Damocles may descend at any moment.
How strange.
How queer!
I wonder who sent it.
Angela! Are you ill? Angela! My God, jeez!
She's dead! But how? Why?
Daddy, what are we gonna do?
Well, if I may make a suggestion, sir.
A suggestion!
Well, I suggest we hide the body in the window seat.
I got a feet! 1, 2, 3!
It's unbelievable. Angela's dead. A moment ago, she was so alive. I just can't believe she's really dead.
Hold it! People! I got deserve that hard. Pick up a body and put it in the... Mrs. Butler, do you mind coming out on stage? My dear Ned, as a director, experience has taught me that when an actor dies on stage, it is necessary to get that actor off stage before the illusion is spoiled by his natural inclination to breathe. By the simple device of having you stuffed into the window seat, I have solved that problem. However, my credibility as a director and yours as a dead body will be completely shattered if you are subsequently seen crawling out of a 30-story building.
I guess I'll have to scrunch down more.
That's my view. Well, it's coming. In fact, it's coming very well. You're beginning to play Raymond Butler just as I've written. Formal and correct, yet inherently sensitive.
Thank you, Tony.
But you're still forgetting one thing.
What?
Your lines?
What lines?
You left out a whole speech. The Mahjong speech. When you pour Angela her cup of coffee, you ask her about her regular Thursday afternoon Mahjong game.
Oh, the Mahjong speech. Well, I guess I just blocked it out.
Why is that?
It's the speech. The words just aren't written right. That's why I can't seem to get my head around it.
I don't want you to get your head around it. I want you to get your mouth around it. You see, this speech is the axis on which this play turns. It delineates your relationship with Angela and the solution to the murder.
I'm sorry, I can't work this way.
What way?
Without a complete script.
What has that to do with learning your lines?
Well, we still don't know who the murderer is. If you give us the last scene, then we'd know who it is, and the play would make sense to me.
It makes sense. And so does my withholding of the last scene. The Butler did it as a classic who done it. And I want each of you to be drawn into the mystery. So for the same sweet agony of suspense that the audience is feeling when they ask themselves, Who is the murderer? Is it you, Rain? Struggling between your conflict of pride and passion? Or is it you, Aldo? Dark sensual redolent of male musk underneath your servant's coat? Or is it Vicky, with the face of an angel and the soul of a woman in love? Speaking of which, although you're struggling with the kiss.
Hey, wait, are you trying to say that I don't know how to kiss?
It's not how you kiss. It's where you kiss. You're supposed to kiss directly underneath the mistletoe. Right now you are cheating in a few feet.
Okay, so what difference does a few feet make?
To answer that, I have to give you information that is revealed in the last scene. But I realize it's unfair to ask an actor to do something that's unmotivated. So I suppose I must tell you. The mistletoe is the poison in the play. A traditional symbol of festive season. In that form, harmless. But when the berries are crushed down to a powder, it releases lethal oils, ranked deadliest by the American Journal of Toxicology, of cyanide and strychnine. In full view of the audience, readily available to use on Mrs. Butler. Now that's why you have to kiss directly underneath the mistletoe. You must bring attention to it so at the end of the play the audience can say, "Oh my God!"
But how does the mistletoe get from there to here?
The coffee.
The coffee's too obvious, isn't it?
That you'll find out when we do the last scene.
And when will that be?
3 days. On the morning of our first preview.
Jesus, Tony, that won't give us enough time to...
Michael, trust.
Man, you know I trust you, but...
Good. Now let's get back to work. Our first major problem is still your reaction to Mrs. Butler's death. None of you is conveying the profound shock the terror a person feels when he comes face to face with murder. Now let's try it again. Places. Mrs. Butler, you're already dead. Sit down. All right. Rain.
Angela! Oh my God,
She's dead! But how? Why?
No. Although I want profound shock. Right now you are giving me superficial confusion. Just try it this way. She's dead! But how? Why?
Listen, man, don't give me any of that mind reading. I gotta feel it right here, internally, in my gut.
Unfortunately, I do not know how to give direction to a large intestine. Now, can you all just listen to me?
Oh, look at that, Tony. 6 o'clock, all right, everybody, quitting time.
Quitting time? My God, man! We are not unloading bananas on the Hoboken docks. We are rehearsing a play.
Hey, listen, man, I'm only doing my job. You see, the equity deputy shall have the duty and obligation to require compliance to...
Please, spare me chapter and verse. All right, rehearsal is over. But before you all go, I'd like to make a request of you. You see, it's come to my attention that these 3 days before our first preview are the life or death period in determining whether this play will be a stillborn or emerge as a lustily squalling off-Broadway baby. So I'm going to ask each of you to go home, pack a bag, and move into this theater for the duration. All meals will be taken here and you will all sleep in your dressing room.
Wait, the equity rulebook clearly states...
This transcends the banality of the equity rulebook. From now on, till we open, I want each of you to live, breathe, sleep, dream this play. Nothing coming between you, the actors, or the script. Except me. I've already dismissed the stage manager and the crew until the morning of our first rehearsal.
Tony, Tony, I hate to make waves, but I do require suitable accommodations. My contract clearly states...
You're all free to say no. All I'm asking of you is what I ask of myself. Total dedication. Does anyone here feel I'm asking too much?
I think it's a wonderful idea.
Great! Then it's settled. We will rehearse at 10 a.m. And Natalie, before you go, I'd like to give you some notes.
Hey,
Darling, it's only notes. Wait for me by the stage door. He's so adorable.
Is it true that young men are extraordinarily empathetic, sensitive, tender?
Yes.
And is Michael?
No, but he makes up for it with sweetness.
In any case, he seems to agree with you. You're doing a beautiful job for me, and I know you don't have much to do, but when the play begins, all the audience is doing is wondering, who is the murderer? So we have to do Angela in the first 3 minutes, or we've got no play.
I understand that, and I don't mind. Every part's an important part. For me, the thing is to work, to perfect my craft. Look, I've been in this business for 25 years. Oh, I started out wanting to be a star. Everyone does, but I've had a wonderful life in the theater anyway. It took a lot of years and a lot of therapy, but I've adjusted. I'm just what I want to be, a working actress.
A pro. Now that's why I want to ask for your help with something.
Name it.
You know, I'm still concerned with the actor's reaction to Mrs. Butler's death. To make the audience feel, we have to make the actors feel. We have to make them react authentically with the kind of shock and horror at a murder in their own lives. Now that's where you come in.
How?
I want you to die for me.
I'd do anything for you. But I have a run of the play contract. I don't understand.
It's simple. When we run the first scene tomorrow, I want you to die. And I want you to do it in a completely different way.
You want them to think I'm dead. I mean, really dead?
Yes. As if one of us had really poisoned you.
Oh, like Like with the mistletoe.
Exactly. That's why I talked about it today. You see, I've planned out every detail.
Tony, you're wicked. I know I can play the part. But do you think they'll believe it? I mean, they'll see me breathing. I will be breathing, won't I?
I told you. I've worked it all out.
I don't know.
You'll be great in the part. When you're off dead, the rest of the cast will be getting at their feelings and reactions. And then after rehearsal, you'll come back and we'll all go on with a new understanding of what the play really means.
It's a challenge.
Will you do it?
I'm dying to.
Yes! It's Tony. It's 9:30 in the morning. Have you ever heard of a press agent sleeping until 9:30? Why aren't you up and at 'em? And why haven't I seen my name in a single newspaper column? What do you mean, resistance? My recent string of flop bolas, as you so colorfully put it, is merely a fallow period in which any artist undergoes from time to time. You're too young to remember some of my greatest hits. But I was a giant in theater while you were still watching Howdy Doody. I know a publicity campaign requires a handle. And you've got a handle that's a press agent's dream. Me! I am not a has-been. I'm a legend. Forget about that. What's going on with my theme piece for this Sunday's Arts and Leisure section? Good. Now I want you to call the New York Times and make sure that the article will be on every front page. I don't want to be buried behind 6 pages of ads for Sam Goodman. Great. Now once that timepiece goes up, we're going to be golden, Lester.
Morning.
Morning, darling. Sleep well?
Here, let me do that.
No. Coffee is my job.
I love the way you're so in charge of everything, including me.
Well, you're easy. You're a director's dream.
God, I still can't believe it. 2 years out of Yale Drama School and boom, I land the first part I auditioned for. And it's an Anthony J. Lefcourt production. It's not just the play, it's you. Being with you as well, it's the beginning of a new life for me.
For me too. Because for the first time I'm in complete creative control of my own play. Author, director, sole financial backer. And I don't have to make any compromises that'll blur the clarity of my vision. And you're a part of that vision. You've got technique, you've listened, and you've got talent.
You make me feel like a star.
You will be a star. The way you do your second act monologue, well, that's what the theater is all about.
You're what the theater's all about.
Am I interrupting anything?
Oh, good morning, Michael. Coffee will be up in just a few minutes. What? Damn. We're out of sync. All right, listen up. You kids just mind rolling up the fort here. All right, run around the corner and pick up some sacred for now. But I'll be back in just a few minutes.
Give my regards to the outside world.
Man, you look great in that skirt. You busy later?
Why don't you give up?
Well, I'm crazy about you, babe. You really ought to take me up on my offer.
What about Natalie?
You know she's only in because you turned me down. Just say the word.
What if she did that to you? Dumped you for another guy?
Yeah, no way.
What would you do? Break her kneecaps?
Listen, just because I'm Italian doesn't mean I go for all that mafia stuff.
What would you do?
Let's see. You know what?
I'd kill her.
Good morning, all. Where's our esteemed Directo!
He went to the deli. He'll be right back.
Michael, I wanted to talk to you about our confrontation scene.
Please, not till I've had my coffee.
But it's the first time in the play that you openly admit that you slept with my wife.
Good morning, good morning.
Oh, morning, babe. You look beautiful.
Natalie, I was trying to clarify a scene with Aldo.
I think it's too early in the morning to clarify anything.
Early? When I was doing my doctor series, we had to be on set at the Burbank studio in hair and makeup at 7 a.m. Ready to shoot.
You mean ready to operate?
Exactly. Once I had to do a tracheotomy, a coronary bypass, and a brain tumor all before lunch.
You know, I really wish you would have done a detective series, and then you could tell us who the murderer is in this play. I'm going nuts trying to figure out who it was.
I think I did it.
You, what's your motive?
Money, my inheritance. If your wife is dead, I become sole beneficiary in your will.
But how did you kill her?
When there's a will, there's a way.
Tony, you mean I'm right? I did do it?
All I'm saying is that you could have done it. You're all suspects, and you all have motives. Now that's what makes it a classic who done it. And here's your second, Natalie.
You're a sweetheart.
You're all over it.
When you say we're all suspects, does that include me?
No, you're the victim.
But sometimes it turns out the victim isn't really dead.
Ah, what you're thinking about is a thriller. In a thriller, you can have fake murders, dead bodies returning to life. But a whodunit is a different kind of play. Let's just say a character enters, grabs a cup of coffee, drinks it, and dies. Now that's a whodunit. The suspense comes from the audience wondering who put the poison in the coffee. The murder has to be real. It's the central driving force of the play. Because all that matters in a whodunit is who done it. Now it's so important, in fact, that if the audience knew who the murderer was, there'd be absolutely no point in seeing the play.
What happens in a thriller?
Well, in the thriller, you've got a different kind of suspense. Let's just say I grab a cup of coffee, reach surreptitiously into my pocket, and then I put poison in the coffee, which the audience sees. Then I offer it to you. Now all the audience is feeling is, my God, Natalie, don't drink the Senka! That's a thriller. The audience knows that you're in mortal danger.
But I don't. I get it.
Exactly. If we were doing a thriller, you can drink the coffee, die, and then come back in the next scene. But since the Butler did it as a classic whodunit, you die and stay dead. All right, now let's get back to work. Natalie, are you in the mood to die this morning?
As soon as I've had some Senka.
All right, let's take it from Act 1, Scene 1. But let's skip the beginning. It's working just fine. We'll take it from just before Mrs. Butler's death. All right, places. And remember what we're working with. I want each of you to make me feel as if Mrs. Butler's death is terribly, terribly real. All right, Aldo.
This just arrived by messenger. It's for you, madam.
Oh, thank you all. My favorite book, The Way of All Flesh. Curious, a Christmas present but no card. Wait, there's a description on the flyleaf. To dearest Angela, turn to page 107. There's a passage underlined. We live in the shadow of death, which like a sword of Damocles may descend at any moment.
How strange. Your line, Robert?
Oh, line, please. How queer? How queer?
I wonder who sent it.
Angela, are you ill?
Somebody.
Wait, Natalie, are you okay?
All right. Father Natalie, you're giving me a trifle too much. What's up? Can you speak?
Oh my God! Somebody do something!
Hold her hand. I'll call for an ambulance. It's gonna be okay, Natalie. We're getting help.
What's the matter with her?
I don't.
Stomach pain, asphyxia, could be acute, gastroenteritis. I gotta check her pupils.
Get away from her, you turkey.
She can't breathe. I have to give her mouth to mouth.
Don't!
Don't worry. I know what I'm doing. I want to perform this on Suzanne Blanchard.
Her lips! What if she's been poisoned? I mean, really poisoned!
I can't stand this waiting anymore. I'm going to the hospital.
There's nothing to do there except wait. Besides, Tony said to stay here.
Yeah, well, why doesn't he call? He must know something about her condition by now.
I'm sure he'll call when there's something definite.
You know, when those two guys carried Natalie out on that stretcher, I thought it might be the last time I'd ever see her.
She's going to pull through, Mike.
I didn't realize you were so emotionally involved with Natalie.
Well, neither did I till now. You know, it's funny when you work real close with someone.
You know, she was a real theater person. Dedicated, serious, non-ego tripping. She didn't even mind if she had a small part.
You know, you're talking about her like she's already dead?
She didn't make it.
Oh no.
She was unconscious by the time we got to the hospital. So I told the medical team that she might have been poisoned, and they pumped her stomach with adrenaline and oxygen. Took her up to intensive care, but by the time it was too late, I just felt so helpless.
You know, people don't just die at hospitals like that. What are they for then?
They did everything they could. I was there.
Well, she can't be dead. She just can't.
I can't stand it either, Mike. But we have to. We just have to try and go on.
It feels so strange. I mean, Natalie has been dying every day for weeks now. It was like some sort of game. Like when kids say, bang, you're dead. They fall down to the ground and get back up, but now?
I'm going to see her. You can't see her. Why not?
Because she's at the morgue. They're doing an autopsy.
Wait, you mean they're gonna cut her open? Why'd you let them do that?
There wasn't anything that we could do. It's the law. In a case like this.
He means a murder case.
It's not an official homicide until the medical examiner determines the cause of death.
You know it was poison as well as I do. That damn mistletoe is hanging right there.
All right, which one of you sons of bitches did it? Michael! Look, man, I'm not just gonna stand around being cool when one of you...
It's hard to tell if any of the berries are missing. Any one of us could have grabbed a few and grounded them up.
Wait, you. When you were acting all that thriller stuff, you were using Natalie's cock. You put the poison in her Senka.
Easy now, Michael. I know you're upset.
No, we all saw you, didn't we? You killed her!
Michael, think about it. If I wanted to poison Natalie, would I have done it in such an obvious way?
Of course not. Besides, Tony couldn't murder anyone.
Oh, I could indeed. We all could. In a situation of sufficient stress, anybody is capable of murder.
I couldn't possibly murder anyone. Now, wait a minute. Just because I said I couldn't murder anyone doesn't mean I said it because I could. I said it because I couldn't, and I didn't.
Nobody's saying that you did. All I'm saying is that one of us right here on this stage, is a murderer.
Hi, I'm looking for Mr. Anthony Lefcourt.
I'm Anthony J. Lefcourt.
Oh, Detective Mumford, third homicide zone.
What's this about?
Jesus, it must be about Natalie.
It can't be about Natalie.
What else could it be about?
Just a moment. You all know that Natalie Simpson is dead? How do you know?
Now, just a minute.
Hold it, Mr. Lefcourt. Now, Miss,
Barnes? Claudia Barnes?
how did you know she was dead, Miss Barnes?
Mr. Lefcourt just told us.
She can't be dead. She just can't be.
Wait, is Natalie alive?
Well, of course she's alive.
If she's alive, why'd you tell us she's dead?
And if she's alive, then what is he doing here?
I'm going to have to get all your names. And hey, aren't you, what's his name?
I'm Robert Latimer. And I'm not saying anything until I speak to my agent. What time is it in the coast again?
What the hell is going on here?
You, what's your name?
I'm Michael Severino.
Where's Natalie?
Can I say something?
Are you prepared to make a statement?
Detective Mumford, you're probably wondering why I told him all that Miss Simpson is dead when she's actually alive.
Then where is she?
I don't know. She's knocked back for a couple of hours. Detective Mumford, you see, this is a theater. I'm a director and there are my actors. We're doing a whodunit and Miss Simpson is murdered in the play. Poison. I rather artfully arranged for Miss Simpson to act as if she had been murdered to get an authentic emotional reaction out of the rest of the cast.
Holy Christ, Tony! That's a muchness even for you.
I know I put you all through a lot, but you will never forget this emotional experience. And when we run the first scene tomorrow, it'll all play as if it were a dream. Now, do you understand, officer?
Yes, I understand. It was some kind of a stunt.
Oh, it was not a stunt! It was an exercise!
Whatever you want to call it, Mr. Lefcourt. According to the report, you hired two unemployed actors, Paul Selkirk and David Pearson, to pose as a paramedic ambulance team from St. Vincent's Hospital. Is that correct?
Yes.
Mr. Lefcourt, Selkirk and Pearson brought Miss Simpson to the 6th precinct station. She was dead.
Something's gone wrong. I don't understand.
I don't understand either. Not yet. When I came here, everyone knew that Miss Simpson was dead.
They thought she was dead.
Because you had told them.
I told you why. I told them.
Then tell me again what you told them.
When we loaded Natalie up into the ambulance, she was perfectly fine. And they gave her some notes on how she performed the poisoning scene. Then I got off at Hudson Street and had lunch at Rifelius. You can check them. The plan was for her to come back after rehearsal. So she said she'd go shopping in Soho. The two guys would drop her off at Prince Street and then drop the ambulance off at the rental place. That's the last time I saw her. And she was in great shape.
And what time was that?
10:30.
That checks.
Of course that checks! Wait a minute. Natalie went to the police station and got you to do this as a joke! Oh, Natalie! Oh! Natalie! But I don't understand why a police officer would take such a part in a macabre charade.
There's nothing fake about this death, Mr. Lefcourt. Shortly after, actually, according to the statements of Pearson and Selkirk, shortly after you left the ambulance, Miss Simpson went into convulsions, and she died.
Oh my God. I don't understand.
Where was Miss Simpson around 10 o'clock?
She was with us. Why?
I'll ask the questions if you don't mind.
We were having coffee. It was just before rehearsal.
That checks.
Stop saying that! She wasn't supposed to die!
The preliminary medical report shows a quantity of brownish liquid in her stomach, which was analyzed as decaffeinated coffee.
The Sanka!
And it was Sanka? Oh, good. The report said it was either Sanka or Taster's choice. Oh, but we won't know precisely what kind until we hear from toxicology.
Then she was murdered.
You knew she was murdered?
We just talked about it. I mean, the way she was acting during the poisoning scene, we all sort of assumed. But wait a minute, was she acting or wasn't she?
Of course she was acting. In fact, I told her she was overacting.
But he just said she was poisoned.
She was poisoned, all right. But apparently when she was acting, pretending to be poisoned, the real symptoms hadn't appeared yet. The poison only took effect after Mr. Lefcourt left the ambulance. And that checks with the medical examiner report. You see, if she'd finished the Sanka, she probably would have died right here in this theater. But she must have taken only a few sips of it. And with the alkaloid group in that dosage, the onset of symptoms would appear about 20 minutes after ingestion. Now, Miss Barnes, did Miss Simpson always drink Sanka?
Yes.
And you all knew that?
Yes.
And which cup did she drink from?
The white one, with the red roses on it. She always used to drink from that cup.
I didn't know that.
Neither did I.
Now, wait a minute. Just because I knew she drank from that cup doesn't mean I poisoned her. Besides, just because they didn't know she drank from that cup doesn't mean they didn't really know.
Mr. Lattimore?
You can't accuse me.
I'm not accusing anyone. Now, this is the Sanka?
Yes,
When was it opened?
just this morning.
Who broke the seal?
Michael,
Wait, I did?
you did.
Okay, so what? I broke the seal.
So you could have put the poison in the Sanka.
Oh, yeah, you could have put the poison in the cup.
Well, Claudia could have too.
Well, we all could have.
Where were all of you when Miss Simpson's Sanka was being prepared?
We were all on stage.
And after it was made?
We stayed there. Except for Tony.
And where was he?
Over there.
Mr. Lefcourt, what were you doing over there?
I was just giving directorial direction.
Directorial direction, which consisted of?
It was rather technical.
I asked you what you were doing over there.
You don't have to answer him, Tony.
I'll tell you what he was doing.
Fine! I was demonstrating how one would put poison into coffee, as if one were performing in a thriller.
Using which cup?
That is coffee. But I assure you, it was just pantomime.
Pantomime.
Yes, I was pantomiming putting poison into the cup. It wasn't real.
What wasn't real?
The poison wasn't real.
The cup was real?
Well, of course the cup was real.
You used a real cup and fake poison?
It wasn't fake poison.
Then what was it?
It wasn't anything. There wasn't any poison. We were just making believe. And you see, what we're doing here is a classic whodunit. And
I know what we're doing, Mr. Lefcourt. Now, what was your relationship with Miss Simpson?
are you assuming I had a motive to kill her?
I'm just trying to get the facts.
Relationships have nothing to do with facts. Relationships are emotional nuances.
Mr. Lefcourt, I'd like you to come along with me to the station house.
Under arrest?
I'd prefer you to come voluntarily.
I most certainly will not.
Then you're under arrest.
This is ridiculous.
Not to me, I'm obliged to read you your rights under the Miranda ruling. You have the right to remain silent.
You can't arrest me. I'm in the middle of rehearsals.
Hey!
What's happening, Tony?
Nobody panic!
I said, don't anybody move! Mr. Lefcourt, I said, don't anybody move!
What the hell are you doing?
Just what you tell me to do. Come back from the dead and interrupt the investigation.
But not as a zombie!
I know, but when I came in and started watching all you for the wings, pulling out that whodunit scene, I thought it needed a little shock effect, like in a thriller. So I switched out the lights, scrunched my way over to the window seat, and ta-da! I thought it was rather effective, didn't you?
Wait a minute, you're telling me that you're Natalie Simpson?
What the hell's going on?
Obviously, Natalie's not dead.
Wait, then who's the body at the morgue?
Well, there is no body at the morgue.
Then why is the detective here?
There is no detective!
Wait, who's he? My name is Sam Barber. Actually, I'm an actor.
People, this is Sam. He plays the 5th character in our play. He comes in the last scene.
So who does he play?
Well, the detective, of course.
I didn't know there was a detective.
This is a classic whodunit. There must be a detective.
Let me get this straight. You hired an actor to play a detective, who's an actor that plays the detective in the play?
Precisely. Art imitates art.
Huh?
Don't you see? Everything that's happened here has been staged by Tony.
Wait, then why'd you have us believe you were the murderer?
Because I wanted you all to see that, under pressure, having experienced the horror and shock of a murder right in front of you, you'd suspect the person you trust most. Me. Now, I know I put you all through an emotional ringer, but on opening night, you'll all think.
Yeah, I'm sure.
All you have to do is use the feelings that you all had today. Right! How do you feel about Natalie's death? Don't repress it!
Well, I felt pumped out. I felt with a murder going on, the play wouldn't open.
Excuse me, but I think you're wrong. The play would have opened.
With a police investigation going on.
Sure. Ever since I worked this detective bit with Tony, I've been asking myself, what would really happen if there really was such a murder? All you have to do is get a replacement for Mrs. Butler, and then not only would the play open, but it would be a gigantic hit. How come? Because we would all be prime suspects. Think of it. A murder play in which one of the persons was an actual murder. A whodunit in which one of the actors on stage was a genuine killer. Can you imagine the publicity it would get? People would be falling all over themselves just to get tickets.
Until the police found who done it.
But what if the murderer was too smart for the police? As long as the cops couldn't solve the case, the show would be selling out. Doesn't that make sense, Tony?
Yes, it does. But if there's going to be any murder around here, I want each of you to go out and kill the audience. Sam, you better reformally accept our victim.
Oh, I know Natalie.
Good to see you again.
Sam, you know, you started to look familiar, and it just came to me. We used to work together in a television playback back in the 50s. A Falco's Playhouse.
Oh, I didn't think you would even remember.
Yeah. You haven't done much television since then, have you?
Well, you know the nature of the business.
Listen, if you play the detective in the play, then you know who the murderer is, right?
Sure.
Then who is it?
Why, it's
Sam! I told you. It's a secret until we do the last scene.
Sorry, Tony.
All right. Now I think we might as well break for dinner. You've all put in a full day's work. Come on, I'll show you to your room.
Sam, wait. What have you been into recently? Mostly theater?
Yeah, I've done some stock, a couple of other drug tours. Nothing too spectacular.
But it's a living, though.
Not really. Between jobs, I work for my aunt Florence. She's a caterer. She does a lot of posh dinner parties, and I go with her, serve drinks, hors d'oeuvres, coffee.
That's funny. You're a butler. Just like the rest of us. The butler did it? I bet you planned all this.
Please, I'd never resort to such a contrivance. but it does add a certain symmetry.
Hey, babe, you coming?
Yes, Michael, you go up. I'll be there in a minute.
I'll be there in just a minute.
Hello? Just a minute.
Just hold on. Do you mind? What are you trying to do? Hatchet? Your script!
Oh.
Lester, what's up? Did you call the Times? What do you mean they killed my story? No, it will not help to get me into the West End Avenue Community News. I was counting on the Times, Lester. Well, of course I sound worried. I'm dead up to my bloodshot eyeballs with this play. It's now or never for me, so we gotta do something, and we've gotta do it fast. I told you, you've gotta handle it. It's me. So I want you to get your punchy little fist around the handle and use it. That's what I'm paying you for. The check is in the mail. Those are not the 6 most dishonest words in the English language. You know what? Just sit tight, Lester. I work best when I'm in a crisis.
Hi, Tony.
Hello. Huh?
What's the matter? Depressed?
No. Just a little. Preoccupied.
I like to chat. I have an idea for the play. That is, if you're up for it.
Well, I'm always available to my actors.
You know, since I'm only in the first scene, I've had a lot of time to watch rehearsals, and I don't know, maybe I have a little more objectivity than you do.
I suppose.
Well, for a while now, I've had the feeling that the character of Vicky just doesn't come across.
And why is that?
It's the actress.
Claudia?
Exactly!
Claudia Barnes is one of the most brilliant young ones.
She's wrong for the part. She's too young. She lacks the depth, the experience.
Now, just a moment.
You'll forgive me, Tony, but you've been beguiled by a pretty face.
Madam, you go too far. You know, I think we can terminate this discussion right here.
Not before I tell you my idea. I think the problem can be solved very simply. You fire Claudia, and I get the part of Vicky. I know what you're thinking, but the part can easily be played a bit older.
I assure you, I have no intention of firing Claudia.
And I have no intention of playing the meaningless part of Mrs. Butler. The actress who plays Vicky is gonna emerge a star, and I intend to be that star.
I thought you didn't want to be a star. That you're just happy with being a working actress.
You ought to know better. Never believe an actor who says that it's just a cop-out. I wanted the part of Vicky from the beginning, and now I mean to have it.
What is giving you the bizarre idea that I just handed over to you?
It was during rehearsals. I've had a lot of free time. Thanks to you. To listen, to think. It's a plan. Actually, I've been planning it for weeks.
I mean, what?
How to blackmail you.
You blackmail me.
Yes, to get the part.
Sorry, Pat. It won't play. You know, to blackmail somebody, you have to have something on them. And I'm as guilt-free as Adam before the fall. My life is rich in incident. Yes, but I have no guilt to secret.
Oh, but you do have a secret. One that, if it were known to the public, would completely destroy you.
And pray tell, what is that?
I just read the last scene of Sam's script, and I must congratulate you. It's fabulous! I never would have guessed. That's the secret? The murderer? The name of the murderer in the play? You said it yourself. In a whodunit, if people know who the murderer is, there's absolutely no reason to come see it.
So you know. Now.
Now, if I don't get the part, I'll tell the whole world who killed Mrs. Butler.
And how do you plan on accomplishing that?
A simple device. Posters.
Posters?
Yeah, like you see pasted up where it says, post no bills. Here's the first proof. I've had it for a week now. Just waiting for this moment. Don't you love it? And the butler did it. The murder is blank. I've had a poster of it. They send out these strange nocturnal types who can paper every wall in the city overnight. If I don't get the part, I'll phone them, you'll phone the murderer's name, and bingo, you'll see it all over town. Think of the publicity. The whole world will know who killed Mrs. Butler.
I'll call my lawyer. I'll sue.
Go ahead. But the posters will be up. All you'll have then is a long-running lawsuit and a short-running play. Face it. You have no choice.
No. Ever since I decided to write The Butler Did It, I must have read every single murder mystery since Oedipus Rex. And I must know every classic line. Like when a blackmailer says, "You have no choice." Now you see, that's as classic as you can get. And in this wordplay, I'd say to myself, there's only one way to deal with a blackmailer. So I'd set in motion an ingenious plan to murder you. Oh, but this is not a play. This is real life. So I'm going to say what anybody else in my predicament would have to say. Okay. You win.
This has worked out better than I planned. I thought I'd come in during the first week of previews after you gave us the last scene. But now I think I'll be ready for the first preview.
That's in 3 days. I'll need time.
What's the matter? I know all the parts.
Well, I'm gonna have to do some rewriting. You know, to accommodate your maturity.
Work fast.
And then I'm gonna need to find an actress to replace you. And then there's some publicity. Oh, we may even be able to get you on the front page. If I can pull it off properly.
You'll think of a way.
Oh, I already have.
What is it?
Trust me.
I do. Now that I have something on you.
You know, that'll with you in this new role, and the publicity we'll get from it. The Butler Did It will have the one ingredient it desperately needed. A hint! finished lunchroom?
Yeah. Listen, Tony, I gotta talk to you about something that's bothering me.
Well, you know I'm always available to my actors.
About, you know, in the opening scene? I hope you don't mind my saying, but the way Otto comes in with the coffee, it's wrong.
Wrong?
Yeah, I know, because my Aunt Florence, the one I work for, she taught me. You see, a real I'm sorry.
Damn!
Let me fix this. Come on. I'm sorry. Just let me show you with the tray, yeah?
Why don't you just explain it to me, Sam?
Look, Aldo comes in like this, but he should come in like this.
Oh, I love it!
But I gotta show you why Aldo's gotta come in like this. You see, this door is a stage door, right? All Aldo's gotta do is lean against it and it opens, right? But with a real door, you have to open it by turning the doorknob. So you have to have a free hand. Get it? Watch.
I got it right. Oh, for God's sake!
I'm so sorry.
Don't do it!
What are you worried about? I've done this a million times.
No.
Christ, it's dark back here. Okay, watch how this plays. Damn! Seriously, you ought to get that stuff fixed.
Michael, you'll be fine.
I just don't know how to play it.
Trust your instincts. I know you have instincts.
Yeah, but I don't know how to make him work in a seduction scene.
What's the problem?
I'm serious. I just can't find it. After all my years of study, after all my experience, I'm nowhere. Nowhere. Tony, I never thought I'd say this to a director, but I think you made a mistake with me. You gotta find someone else.
Don't be silly.
No, I'm serious. I'm just a street kid from Little Italy. I don't know how to play a classy butler, especially in a seduction scene.
That's why I casted you as Aldo. See, you're inherently rough-hewn, macho. And that works beautifully against the cool, elegant restraint of the character that you're playing. Now you see, in the seduction scene, your moral inhibition is stripped away. And it is revealed that the audience has been subconsciously thinking about you. That you're a dark, sensual animal. A man.
You know what? Yeah, I could dig it. Maybe if I got like a silk shirt, then when I took off my jacket, I could,
I assume that means lunch hour is over.
Yeah, but like, what about the shirt?
Now let's get back to work. Union rules. Michael.
You must do something about my dressing room. The paint in the ceiling is falling into the sink is falling off the wall, and I am falling into a foul mood about the whole mess. I mean, how do you expect professionals to work and live in conditions of filth and squalor?
Darling, it's an old theory. Once the place that I can put a bite on management for a new paint job.
My paint's peeling too, but I think we can bear with it for one more week.
I didn't ask you, dear.
Listen, I have the right to—
You are a novice in the theater. I suggest you concern yourself solely with the complexities of Big E. I haven't mentioned this before, but somehow you seem to be losing it!
No!
Babe, what's bugging you?
Nothing at all. But we're getting down to 0 hour, and I think we should all focus exclusively on our work, without having to deal with peeling paint or interfering ingenues.
Natalie, you're not yourself today.
Yes, she is.
People. I understand what Natalie's feeling. And she's right. Tomorrow is our first preview, and the tension is building. So let's use it. Convert that tension in energy, and use that energy in your performances. You all can't see how beautifully the elements are coming together. But trust me, people, we've got a hit on our hands. All right, now let's take it from Act 1, Scene 1. Places. Aldo, take the coffee tray and go off for your entrance. And Sam, you may watch with me if you would like to. Start when the lights come up. And remember, tension is energy.
Shall I pour, Mr. Butler?
No, thank you, Aldo.
Is there anything else, sir?
Yes, tell Mrs. Butler to join me.
Very well, sir. Should I keep a plate warm for Miss Butler?
Yes. I've been worried about her. We've seen so little of Vicky since she came home for the holidays. But She's always been so unpredictable.
Quite, sir. I'll go get Mrs. Butler for you.
There you are, Angelo.
Raymond!
A coffee, darling.
Yes, thanks. I said, yes, thanks.
I know you said yes, thanks.
Then what do you say?
You're welcome. No, I don't think I say you're welcome. Tony, is there a you're welcome in the script?
There is no "you're welcome" in the script. There's a mahjong speech in the script.
Oh, the mahjong speech. Is that still in?
I don't believe this. We've been rehearsing this scene for 3 weeks. A scene in which not one word has been changed, and you ask if a speech is in or out?
So I forgot one little speech.
One little speech? You forgot all your lines!
That's not true.
Oh, that's right. Because to forget your lines, you have to know them in the first place.
Now, we'll straighten this out later. Now, why don't we take it back from when you drink the coffee?
No, I'm not gonna stand here and be insulted by a bit player.
Big player? And what do you call yourself, a star? You worked 10 years ago on the tube as a mealy-mouthed family doctor who can't even write a prescription without a cue card. And you call yourself a star? I would even call you an actor!
Oh, and you're not an actor. You're a frustrated, untalented, Asian ingenue whose career is finished, except for the possibility of doing a public service commercial on how to cope with menopause.
Please, let's just take it back from when you drink the coffee.
You're unprofessional! Sloppy and egotistical behavior may be acceptable on a soundstage of burping, but we're on a legitimate stage in New York, where craft, discipline, and respect for your fellow actors is still essential! I, for one, have no intention of working further with this man until you drill him and re-drill him on his lines of this text to what might so likely be called his memory!
And you!
You want to see a doctor immediately! You're exhibiting all the unmistakable symptoms of terminal incompetence!
You rotten! Get your hands off me! I'll kill you for this! Do you hear me? I'll kill you!
Oh, Lester! There is no time to organize a Butler did it jogathon! I'm developing a whole new publicity concept. I've got all the ingredients. I just gotta iron out a few details. I'll talk to you tomorrow! As usual?
Did you teach Robert his lines?
Yes. He finally mastered the Mama John speech. Now, are you sure Michael will be coming to your room tonight?
Don't worry. I told him I had one of my headaches. But what's all the mystery about?
I told you. I want to work with you privately.
I don't know what you're trying to pull, but whatever it is, forget it. You've had a full day now and you still haven't fired Claudia. I'm not bluffing, Tony. And I'm not waiting any longer. Tomorrow.
Tomorrow? It'll all be taken care of. The actress I got to replace was coming in at 2 in the afternoon. I'm going to fire Claudia after the morning rehearsal.
Well, if you don't, it's going to be poster time.
Don't worry about that. I've called you down here to help me with an artistic problem.
What problem?
You know, the problem might lie with my plot. But it isn't. I plotted everything beautifully. The problem lies with the motives.
The motives?
Yes. In a classic whodunit, all the characters must have equally strong motives for murder. But right now I'm having trouble with Robert's part. His motive is so strong, so clearly stated, that all the suspicion falls on him. So I have to make all the other characters have equally strong motives for murder. Otherwise, we won't have a mystery.
What about my part?
That will work out in plenty. But right now, I could use some help with Michael's role. His motive is potentially there, but that's right.
How?
By changing the seduction scene. Right now, Aldo comes across as a lover, but not as a potential murderer. I have to make him somebody capable of rage. Somebody with neurotic urges.
If you think I'll agree to a change that beefs up Michael's part, you're very much mistaken.
You don't understand. I'm going to make Aldo totally passive. You become the aggressor. I'm going to make a man with deep-seated feelings of inferiority. The scene will become yours. All yours.
That feels right.
I knew you'd see it.
Do you have the new pages?
There are no new pages yet. I'm going to write the new scene tonight, but before I put pen to paper, I wanted to work this through with you as an improvisation to make sure that you understand the underlying values of the scene.
Sounds good.
But I can't tell Michael yet that you're replacing Claudia. So for now, I'll play the Aldo to your Vicky. Here is how the new seduction scene will work. I come because you sent for me. I enter to entice. I demand. You persist. Become a little more provocative. Still, I resist.
That feels right.
And then your taunting of Aldo makes him furious. And he grabs.
And we make love!
Oh my God, I'm shaking the hang up. Let's just do this. Now that I've given you the bare improvisational bones, let's see if we can. Let's go. We'll go from my entrance.
I guess I'm on the couch doing some poses.
Okay.
No. No. No.
Just stay here. Jane, here. Now remember, I am Aldo.
Right.
But don't call me Aldo. Call me something a little more intimate.
Darling.
Fine.
I feel out to project high anticipation.
You bring Build it! Right! Let's just try. You rang, miss.
Oh, yes. Why don't you sit? Here.
I prefer to stand.
I hope you don't mind my calling you darling. I've had this big lech for you. Don't pretend you haven't noticed.
It isn't that. You can't let yourself get carried away. It isn't right.
But I need you. I need someone strong, vigorous, virile.
I think I can.
No. Don't go. Don't you find me attractive?
It isn't that.
Oh, I see. You have a problem with women. No, Tony, you're hurting me. Oh, hurt me!
Oh my God! Please, no.
Hey!
What are you doing here?
What am I doing here? What are you doing here?
Never mind. That. What are you doing here?
You told me to be here at exactly 10.
No, I told you 10 in the morning. You knit.
Oh, good thing I made a mistake. Just wait till I get my hands
Oh,
on you.
easy now, Michael. I can explain to
No, you don't have to explain. She has to.
We were rehearsing.
Oh, you're really gonna get it unless I get a straight answer?
Tony's decided to fire plot and give me the part of Vicky. Won't that be marvelous, Miss Darling?
Yeah, you really expect me to believe that? He'd never give you the part of Vicky.
Why not?
Let's see, you two. Oh!
Michael, please, we're rehearsing.
Rehearsing what?
Darling, Tony told me to do it.
Oh no, I heard him. He told you not to do
You
it.
don't understand. We were rehearsing the new seduction scene between Aldo and Vicky.
Oh yeah, the new seduction scene. Now can I see the new pages?
There are no new pages.
Oh yeah, that I believe.
Michael! You're overwrought. Why don't you just go upstairs, lie down, and go to sleep. And don't brood about this. And when you get up in the morning, it'll all seem as if it were a little misunderstanding.
Oh babe, you're ending up in the East River.
Okay.
I heard shouting. What was Michael doing barreling up the stairs? What's going on?
Natalie and I were down here talking, and Michael came in a jealous rage. You better go see what you can do.
I'll think of something. You know how resourceful I am.
Natalie, be careful. Michael seems pretty angry.
Do you think she'll be all right? Michael looked like he was ready to kill.
He did threaten her, but I wouldn't worry.
You're upset, aren't you? You should try not to get so involved with your actors' personal lives.
Well, with some, it's a pleasure.
What's the matter, Tony?
Claudia, you touched me so deeply, as an actress and as a person. Oh, it's not just your youth and beauty. There's an innocence. You haven't been spoiled by the theater yet. In these last few weeks, I've grown very, very fond of you. Claudia, am I just being an old fool talking to you this way?
You know how I feel about you.
But yes, it's your first show, and I'm your director.
My wonderful, sensitive genius caring of a director, but it's so much more than that, Tony. I care so much for you.
And I for you. Claudia, you will play the part of Vicky!
What?
I mean, you will play the part of Vicky beautifully.
Tony, what is it? Something is wrong.
The theater can be so mean and sordid. I wanted to protect you from all of that.
Never mind me. What about you? Maybe I can help. You know I'd do anything for you.
You can't help.
Maybe I can. Tell me.
It's Natalie.
What did happen between you two?
She came down here to tell me that she was going to blackmail me.
But how? You couldn't ever do anything wrong. What could she have on you?
Well, I can't say, but if it were made public, it would destroy me utterly.
How much does she want? I've got a little bit of money.
Oh, you're sweet. Unfortunately, she wants something else. She wants me to fire you and give her the part of Vicky.
That witch! That's my part! She can't have it!
Don't say anything. I know you gladly sacrifice your career for me. I won't let you.
There's gotta be another way.
Don't say that. Don't even think it. In this world, there'd only be one way to deal with the blackmailer. But this is not a play. This is real life. So I'm going to let her expose me. Because my career is already finished. Yours is just beginning.
No! Tony, I can't let you do this for me.
Fine. You must do as I say. Because I'm your director, and because...
Tony!
Claudia, just go upstairs and go to sleep. And don't brood about this. Claudia, remember, nobody could ever replace you.
Wrong idea.
Why should I get the wrong idea? You were about to commit premeditated murder.
All I did was pick some berries.
Who were you going to murder? Sam.
Nobody.
Then what is that fistful of mistletoe?
The circumstantial evidence. You can't prove anything.
I don't have to prove anything. All I need to know is who you're going to kill. Who were you going to murder? Sam.
I told you nobody.
If you don't tell me, you will see the triumphant return to the stage of Anthony J. Leftcourt after, never mind, how many years, playing the role of Detective Mumford. And you will see yourself back in the catering business.
This is blackmail.
Which will it be? Detective Mumford or Aunt Florence?
Okay. Okay. I was going to poison Natalie. Natalie!
And why would you want to do that?
I hate her. She ruined my life.
Go?
We were friends back in the 50s. We worked together in a lot of live TV. Then the McCarthy business hit television. The committee called Natalie as a witness. She named names. I was one of them. I was blacklisted, and I never worked in television again. And that machine never stopped working. when I saw the way she acted this afternoon, whining at you, humiliating Robert, everything came back to me. The anger, the resentment. I couldn't get it out of my mind. It kept eating at me all night. And then, I guess I got a little crazy.
You were overwrought. But you were also stupid. If you had poisoned Natalie, it wouldn't have taken the police long to dig up the story you just told me. And they would have nailed you for one of the strongest motives for murder. Revenge.
I didn't mean to do it. I'm such a fool.
It's okay, Sam. Why don't you just go upstairs and go to sleep? And don't brood about this.
Good night, Tony.
Sam! Give me the pills!
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's a little chilly in here.
People, as you know, today we do our first preview performance. And you all have given me exactly what I needed. You all have responded beautifully to direction. So this morning, we're going to do the last scene, the most important scene of the play. But before we begin, I'd like to propose a toast. But not with champagne. It's too early for that. Let's just make it coffee. Here's your St. Natalie. People, here's to us. We've got a hit on our hands.
For such a special occasion, I think I'll have some real coffee.
I'll take it. I've just been drinking too much coffee. I'm turning into a caffeine junkie.
Claudia! Don't drink that.
Why not?
Well, because you should have coffee.
But I'm so nervous and tense about tonight. Coffee will only make me more tense.
That's right. And I want you to work with that. Convert that tension into energy.
But Tony, they'll hear my nerves jiggling all the way over on Hudson Street.
Claudia, now is not the time to begin to question my judgment.
Well, all right.
You know, I've never had that stuff. What does it taste like? What's the matter, man?
Let's just begin rehearsing. Screw the toast.
Wait, my watch says 12 to 10.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's 10 on the nose.
Dude, you're wrong.
Michael! You're late. I'm management. And management says when the workday begins. So I say the workday begins now.
Why are you making such a fuss over some Sanka?
If you drink the Sanka, I shall be forced to cite you for disruptive behavior for charges at equity. Now give me the cup.
Jeez.
All right, now let's get to work. Natalie, please wait for me over there. I'm going to get the rest of you blocking for the new scene.
What about the pages?
You don't need any new pages. Robert, you have one line. When the detective comes in, you say, "Who are you?"
Who are you? Got it.
Then the detective takes stage for the rest of the scene. I've already choreographed the rest of the speech, so as the detective moves amongst you all listen spellbound. As he reveals the solution to the murder in the name of the murderer.
Gee, I hope it's me.
Tony, I've been wondering, if the detective's only come in now, how does he know what's been happening in the play?
Robert, you're going to be on the couch. Sam, please go off for your entrance. Aldo, you're going to be standing over there by the chair. And Vicky, you're going to be upstage right by the window seat. All right, Sam, we'll start whenever you're ready. Places for Act 2, Scene 3.
Who are you?
I'm Nigel Mumford, confidential investigator, or as you all say on this side of the pond, private eye. I'm here to identify one of us as the murderer of Angela Butler. Yes, I said us. For I am too a suspect in my own case. You see, I knew Angela before any of you. Years ago, I met Angela in Hong Kong. She was a hostess in a dumpling house. I knew what she was, but I didn't care. It was love. And after she cast me aside, I went through hell trying to forget the pale softness of her skin and the dark cruelty of her laughter. But it didn't work. I couldn't bear the idea of what she'd done to me. I thought if I ever saw her again, well, you see, I had a powerful motive for murder. Revenge.
Hold it! Sam,
What's the matter?
it's the pacing. You're not building the speech through to a climax. I know it's your first time with the company and all.
Let me try it again.
No! Time is too short. It's better if I show you. I'll run the rest of it straight through so you get a sense of the timing and the pacing. Now watch and learn. After Angela was murdered, I know everything that's happened because of my extraordinary powers of deduction. And because I have been hidden in that window seat for the past 24 hours. After hearing everything that's transpired here, I know each of you has a powerful motive for murder. Vicky, headstrong, willful Victoria Butler. When your mother died, you grew obsessively close to your father. And then you married Angela, and you hated her. And then you found out about the affair with Aldo. So you told your father, hoping that he'd divorce her. But it didn't work. Oh yes, you had a powerful motive for murder. You couldn't bear the idea of being replaced. And you, Aldo, once you had Angela to yourself, you tried to convince her to run away with you. But she didn't. And then you realized that if you couldn't have Angela to yourself, then nobody else could. Oh, you had a powerful motive for murder. Jealousy. And finally, Raymond Butler. Married to a woman you could not stand. When you found out about the affair, you tried to convince yourself that it didn't matter. But it didn't work. Oh, you had a powerful motive for murder. Humiliation. Now you see, I had been called to New York to assist in the Judge Crater case when I ran into Angela. You see, she was more beautiful than ever. And she told me about each of you. But she told me how she feared for her life. And when she failed to meet me last Thursday, I feared for the worst. So unbeknownst to any of you, I snuck into this flat and I saw the mistletoe. And a book. The one open Christmas present. And I knew that murder had been committed and how it had been done. You see, when Angela turned pages and pages of the volume that were rubbed with the deadly mistletoe poison, she ingested it and died. You see, she was killed by a book, a curious murder weapon, The Way of All Flesh by Samuel Butler. Oh yes, it was the murderer's private joke. The Butler did it. I see. Any one of you could have known about the deadly mistletoe poison. Any one of you could have sent this book by messenger. And every one of you has a powerful motive for murder. Who? I shan't play games with you. The murderer is...
Oh, see, Tony, I told you it wasn't 10.
Tony! Who's the damn murderer?
I can't tell you!
It is not going to hurt to tell him now, Tony.
Sam, be quiet. Your concentration has been broken. None of you can experience the moment of revelation now. So I want each of you to go to your dressing rooms, lie down, and stay there until I call you. And when you come back, we are going to do a complete run-through from the beginning of the script. And I want all of your minds clear. Now off to your rooms. March!
Tony, I wanted to talk to you about...
By this afternoon, it will be taken care of.
I'm so nervous. I thought maybe you wouldn't mind running the second act monologue with me. I know how you are about lines, and I want to be word perfect for the run-through.
Claudia, I haven't got any time. All right.
You sure you wouldn't mind? Here's the script. You can follow me.
All right, just wait to start until I get to the page.
Daddy, you know how much I love you. How much I've always loved you. The only thing I've ever wanted to be was your little girl. Everything was wonderful until she came.
Oh no.
Tony? Am I doing something wrong? Did I leave something out? Tony! My God, what's wrong?
Claudia, go to everyone's dressing rooms and tell them I want them on stage. Immediately.
But...
Claudia, do it now. I have something very important to say to all of you. People, I called you all down to bitch you. Farewell.
Tony, is this another one of your numbers?
No, I'm afraid. Ever since I told you about the mistletoe poison, it's been a readily available murder weapon for one of you to use. And one of you did use it when you crushed up those berries and put it in my coffee. This coffee.
Somebody do something!
We gotta get him to throw up!
Don't be disgusting.
No, I'll call an ambulance.
No. It's too late for that.
Oh, Tony.
No. No tears, Claudia. I lived in the theater, and I wished to die in the theater. And in my last performance, my life has come to a curious twist of fate. It's time for a final curtain. For me to tie all loose ends neatly together. You're all butlers. Even you, Sam. Thanks to your aunt, Florence. But only one of you could have done. Who? I shan't tell.
You've got to tell us!
In a murder play, the murderers always come. But this is not a play, people. This is real life. And the police will never find out who did it. You'll all be suspects for the run of the play. With the publicity will get, it's going to be a long run. Call Lester! Tell him I finally come up with that. We're going to be on every front page. Who done it? Director Slade. The Butler.